Perjalanan individu ni saya rasa luar biasa lah. Individu Melayu dari menjalani training sampai naik pangkat, sekarang dia dah dapat star. Brigedier-Jeneral dalam SAF BG Fairoz Hassan. What do you think about this perbincangan tentang macam kurangnya ada individu Melayu yang memegang jawatan tinggi dalam SAS ni?
Because actually that's not true. Banyak orang Melayu di dalam askar.
Sebagai pemimpin, Chief Infantry Officer dan juga 9 Div ni, macam mana gaya pemimpin anda evolve lah?
I think kita mesti always be genuine lah. So I think it's important that you always try to be yourself.
Selamat datang ke Notapis. Sekiranya anda sedang menonton podcast ini di YouTube ataupun di Spotify ni, mesti you all tanya macam kenapa background dia macam lain sikit Sebenarnya ada sebab. Hari ni pasukan Notapis telah membawa setup kami ke selarang camp kerana kita bersama seorang tetamu yang sangat istimewa. Perjalanan tengok dah boleh dengar suara dia. Perjalanan individu ni saya rasa luar biasa lah. Terutamanya sekali sebagai seorang individu Melayu dari menjalani training sampai naik pangkat, sekarang dia dah dapat satu star dalam Angkatan Bersenjata Singapura SAF. Siapakah beliau? Tadi anda dah dengar suara dia sikit. Beliau merupakan seorang yang baru saja dilantik sebagai Brigedier-Jeneral dalam SAF BG Fairoz Hassan. Apa khabar?
Thank you. Terima kasih. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you for having us here. So, orang yang
fasik kan ni camp tengok.
Menarik dia punya background. First time saya rasa Notapis keluar ke studio untuk melakukan interview ataupun podcast yang menarik ni. So anda ni special lah sebenarnya.
Terima kasih.
Okay, sebabnya kan maybe for starters lah, kita nak tanya you lah. Boleh terangkan sikit tak? Bagi, bukan saya asking for a friend lah, bagi mereka yang tak faham sangat, apa maksudnya dilantik sebagai Brigadier General? Dapat 1 star ni semua, apa significance dia sebenarnya?
Jadi kalau dapat 1 star ni, the most important thing is that kerja, what it means is the responsibility lah yang datang pada this, datang with this rank lah. Jadi for me personally, saya punya kerja, saya Commander 9 Division dan saya juga Ketua Infantry. Jadi as Commander 9 Division, saya jaga the operational readiness of one of our divisions, Command House Division, which is 9 Division. Dan sebagai Ketua Infantry, saya juga bikin banyak training. Saya ada 3 training institute. Saya jaga training basic BMTC, saya juga jaga training infantry di ITI dan training motorized infantry. On top of that, saya also in charge of NCC actually. Di dalam as commander. Jadi banyak kerja, and that's what it means to be a general. It's not just a title. More importantly is the responsibility, dan kerja mesti bikin bagus dan banyak.
Maknanya anda ni sekarang macam chief orang kata.
Chief.
Chief.
Okay, satu daripada kerja saya is ketua, Chief Infantry. Jadi orang-orang infantry, they do call me chief lah. Tapi sekarang saya tahu. Tangan salah tu.
Tangan ni. Maaf. Okay. Jadi sekarang anda punya peranan ni berleluasan, lagi besar sekarang. Jadi sebelum kita bincangkan tentang peranan baru ni, saya nak throwback sikit lah.
Okay.
Masa anda mula ni, masa muda-muda ni, sekarang
pun masih muda juga ya.
Betul, masih muda. Muda 46 tahun.
46 tahun.
46 tahun. Jadi saya nak tanya dalam sepanjang hidup anda ni, bila muda tu pernah tak macam terfikir lah macam nanti saya dapat 1 star ni?
Tak pernah ya. Tak pernah ever cross my mind. Actually kalau kamu kenal saya time student, saya tak pernah bikin kerja NCC ke military ataupun uniform group. Tak pernah. Saya banyak bersukan. Saya suka main bola sepak, bola keranjang, tenis, badminton. Saya banyakkan main sports. Jadi saya tak pernah actually exposure kepada angkatan tentera ataupun Except for the fact that bila saya kecil, saya tinggal belakang Jurong Camp lah, di Taman Jurong. Other than that, saya tak pernah saya tak pernah banyak. Jadi it's quite interesting. And I think actually saya join military pun pasal saya, family not well to do, and saya nak need some money to help to support my studies lah.
Okay.
So that's the main reason. But I never ever imagined behind. It's very humbling experience. And 28 years, 28 tahun, banyak.
Hampir 3 dekad. Jadi dulu kecil-kecil cita-cita dia ada macam nak jadi apa-apa kerjaya.
Time saya kecil dulu saya nak jadi doktor actually. Tapi saya tak cukup pandai. Jadi saya cuma concentrate tulis yang macam doktor je lah. Jadi saya handwriting tak bagus lah. Okay. Tulisan je saya cukup. Yang lain saya tak boleh.
Kalau tulisan macam doktor, okey lah, boleh pas juga lah. Okey. Jadi bila anda ni masuk sekolah ni sebagainya, dan selepas tu memang terus all the way. Jadi
saya lepas saya habis JC kan, saya pergi NS di BMTC. BMTC lah, di situ saya sign on, decide masuk angkatan tentera ni. Daripada situ onward saya pergi ke OCS, lepas tu saya pergi belajar, datang balik. And that's the start of a beautiful journey lah.
Wow, okay. Tapi seperti anda katakan macam anda ni tak pernah ada orang yang mungkin pernah pergi masuk uniform groupnya kerjaya dan sebagainya kan. Is there a reason for that? Macam you rasa macam tak banyak role model specifically time tu macam yang berbangsa Melayu?
I don't think that's the reason. I think it's just saya punya exposure di sekolah. Pasal saya banyak main sukan, jadi saya tak selalu nampak orang bikin ini. Then my interest was also a lot in sports last time when I was young.
Dulu mungkin kalau main bola terus jadi pemain bola sepak. Kita tak tahu. Maybe dia boleh jadi padiapan. Tapi sekarang dia jadi
tengoklah nanti, maybe selepas saya retire daripada tentera kan, boleh jadi saya mungkin saya masih balik bola sepak.
Mungkin mungkin saya nak tanya jugalah, like what do you think about this perbincangan tentang macam kurangnya ada individu Melayu yang memegang jawatan tinggi dalam SAF ni. Do you feel like it has ever affected you personally tak?
No, because actually that's not true. Banyak orang Melayu di dalam askar, cik, and pegang important positions. I think selain daripada saya, Helmi, Komandan BMTC, which is also report to me, Fairoz, which is head SI, semua colonel. Ini tahun pun kita ada our first Chief Warrant Officer, Zulkarnain, yang dia sekarang di dalam MP Command training. Jadi banyak, I think, role model, people holding big roles in the military, because it's all about ability, right? It's all about the operational requirement. If you're able to meet it, I think the SAF never have any qualms to make sure that that we get to the position that we deserve lah.
Jadi sekiranya anda berbakat, anda akan dapat peluang lah basically. Okay.
So it's a meritocratic society lah, and I think that clearly shows in the SAF.
Okay. Jadi Cik Fairoz ni berbakat lah.
Sikit lah berbakat lah. Bakat bola lebih lah.
Okay. Kita tengok lah kalau sekiranya beliau ni retire, kita tengok kalau dia jadi pemain bola sepak.
Stay tune lah, lagi 3 tahun lagi.
Okay. Jadi kita tahu anda ni masuk OCS pada tahun 1997. Dan anda melalui latihan yang ramai mengatakan mencabar, dan ada yang kata macam gila punya latihan lah. Kemudian lebih daripada 2 dekad, 28 tahun tu secara perlahan-lahan anda ni rose up the ranks, senang kata. Jadi bila anda mengimbas kembali all this 28 years ni, apa mungkin orang kata turning point yang betul-betul ubah cara ataupun your thoughts tentang kerjaya ini dalam angkatan bersenjata ni?
I think for a start, I just want to say that dalam 28 tahun ni banyak sekali experience I had. I think I've trained with macam-macam negeri. I've been to different parts of the world to train. I've met many different people. I've done banyak training. And I think even more recently, like just 2 years ago, saya panjat Mount Biang 2 kali dalam 1 tahun.
Mount Biang tu kat mana?
Mount Biang dekat di Brunei.
Oh.
Saya naik tu kan 2 tahun.
Kenapa sampai
40 lebih tahun pun masih bikin lagi.
Bagus, gaya hidup sihat.
So the experience is very rich. But I think if you ask me to think of one particular point, I think maybe dalam 2005 selepas tsunami di Boxing Day tsunami in N24, and I think itu time saya company commander di Three Guards and tengah bikin BMT, but I was asked to support the operations, and I went there as a UN liaison officer. Jadi kerja saya coordinate lah all the humanitarian aid between the different foreign militaries, the UN agencies, and also the people, most importantly the people of Bandar Aceh. And I think itu experience very sobering lah. I think you see the devastation, tapi yang lebih penting how it affect community di Bandar Aceh. I think it's very sobering. And I think it really made me think, and more importantly is saya dapat tengok how no matter how small you are as a military and the support you do, actually it can make a very big difference. And we were there supporting the operations, helping to connect the people from different parts of the world to the Indonesians, and I think it can make a very, very big difference. And lepas tu saya pun fikir lah, I mean kerja saya di tentera ni bukan just jadi askar. Actually it's a lot more than that. It's very meaningful. It's not trivial. I think it makes a real difference. And kita pun selalu fikirkan kerja kita bukan just train angkatan pertahanan. It's also nation building. It's very important for us in the asset.
Ada orang yang berfikir macam like, oh, Singapore mana ada macam peperangan dan sebagainya. Kalau orang-orang ni macam training setakat tu je lah. But
every single day that we have peace is a sign that we have done our job well. Right? I think our Minister Chan said that, right? Yeah, and I think we really believe in it. Our job is to make sure that we look after and make sure that we are ready all the time. And that's one of my job as Commander 9 Division. We must be operationally ready all the time.
Jadi itu tugasan anda lah.
Tugas saya. Itu tak boleh tukar.
Tak boleh tukar. Kenapa macam ada regret ke macam
Tak ada.
Okay. Jadi selain pengalaman tu, ada tak macam anything else yang mungkin reaffirm lah yang okay, pekerjaan ni mungkin because anda tadi katakan yang anda mula kerjaya dalam ni untuk membantu membiayai untuk sekolah kan. Kemudian tu apa yang membuat anda rasa macam okay, I think ni saya boleh teruskanlah kerjaya saya dalam sampai saya bersara ni.
Untuk saya, as long as I feel that I'm useful, I can contribute to the organisation, I will continue lah. And I think over the years saya banyak experience yang saya dapat, yang saya tahu saya dapat contribute balik untuk Angkatan Tentera. Whether it is to represent us in a bilateral exercise with other countries or multilateral exercise. There was one year I was leading a team to UK actually to from Singapore to do a FPDA exercise with our FPDA.
FPDA tu apa?
Five Defence Power Arrangement, I think. Okay. So is the arrangement between Singapore, Malaysia, UK, Australia, and New Zealand for the defence of our area. So it's in the past. So we do have an exercise every year, and I think it's a very big. How do you put it? You feel very proud lah that you can bring everybody together and we can represent. And most importantly is that when we go out there, we do well, correct, among all these countries, and you can see that you represent your country and your organisation well, and I think that's always very important. Yeah.
Okay, and then bila kita cakap tentang bekerja dalam uniform group ni kan, ada orang kata stress dia lain, culture dia kadang-kadang pun lain. Kadang-kadang ada yang gambarkannya sebagai toxic. How do you navigate this? Rasa ada tak macam elemen toxic?
I don't think it's anything close to that. I think di dalam semua kerja ada stress lah. Tapi kalau di dalam military, I think a lot of the things that we do, we are very organised. Alright, we have a proper procedure to go through things, and I think, for example, the most important thing actually, if you ask me, is kita mesti tahu what is the aim lah, and I think that's the most important thing. And in our mission, in our process. We have the first step, one of the key steps, we have this thing called mission analysis. Kita tengok apa kerja-kerja yang kita kena buat, and I think this is the most important step. Jadi kita tahu, kalau saya cakap, kalau kita ada 1 askar tinggal, apa askar itu buat? And I think that's the most important question. Kalau kita boleh answer ni question, then kita very clear apa yang important. And once we're clear what's important, the rest of the part is just 2 things lah. Kita mesti trust dengan kita punya people, that they know that they can do their well. Nobody come to work to say I want to do a bad job. Everybody comes to work to do their best.
Betul. I want to do the best job. That's why I'm here today.
Yeah, exactly. Correct. And then so you just give them the opportunity, they will do well. And they will surprise you. And the second thing, you must trust your training. You train very hard, and you must trust that your training work. So you're very clear what you want. You trust that you are able to train and you have the resources, and you trust that your people will do well. Then actually there's not so much stress. Alright, you're very clear. I think the job of the military, as you said, the nature of the operations is stressful already. So we create systems to take the stress away, so that we're very clear and able to do our job. Yeah.
Bagus lah. Pastikan semua dalam keadaan yang selesa.
Dan
pastikan
kalau kamu nak tahu lebih, boleh join kita punya volunteer corps juga. Jadi kita boleh tahu.
Okay, sebenarnya sebelum ni saya pernah ada dalam podcast, saya rasa bersama Encik Zaki tak salah. Ketika tu beliau berkongsi tentang ada program di mana
Women Bootcamp.
Yes. Beliau mengajak saya, tapi saya sedang menunggu event tersebut.
Okay, I'll make sure we extend the invitation to you.
Okay, nantikan saya dalam bootcamp itu. Because saya pernah ada cakap, kalau saya tak bekerja di Berita Harian tu, mungkin saya nak cuba jadi askar.
It's not too late. It's never too late.
It's never too late. Okay.
It's never too late.
Masih boleh. Nanti saya jumpa saya cuba di bootcamp tu dululah. Saya cuba di situ dulu. Okay, enough about me. Podcast ni bukan pasal saya, pasal anda. So tadi anda berkongsi anda melanjutkan pelajaran dalam bidang bisnes, kan? Tapi anda sign on as tentera. First of all, apa ni, tentera dengan bisnes ni macam worlds apart orang kata. Jadi macam mana mungkin dua-dua dunia yang berlainan ni saling membantu anda lah dalam mungkin operasi seharian ni?
The most important thing is, I think the world of Angkatan Tentera is not one-sided. It's not one silo. It's just like this. I think it's very, very diverse. And I think kita punya experience, at least for me, my experience belajar business both in undergrad and also postgrad, gives me a very different perspective of how to see things. And I think that's what's important in the military. I mean, the truth is, right, all male Singaporeans join the military. It is as diverse as it can get already. We are the most diverse organisation. And it's important that we continue to maintain that way. Itu kita punya kekuatan. Kita diverse. Jadi kita also want people in the military to have very many different experiences. Our regulars belajar postgrad macam-macam. Ada yang belajar business, ada yang belajar teknologi, science, different things. So that when we come back together and we have all these experiences on top of all our overseas experiences or experience working with the rest of the government, kita have a much stronger team. Boleh jaga kita punya all our blind spots, and we don't have group think. Everybody just think the same way.
Jadi bagaimana mungkin kepakaran bisnes yang anda ada daripada belajar-belajar ni dapat membantu anda dalam kerjaya?
I mean, one simple thing is, I mean, for business, right, you understand the value of money, and I think that's important, especially pada organisasi government seperti military kan. Kita kalau the funds that we spend is public funds, and we need to make sure that we do due diligence, that we make sure that we spend it appropriately and correctly for the purpose of defence of Singapore. And I think some of these things help you to think from that perspective, so that you're not just thinking that kita mesti spend things. Kita mesti be very prudent and make sure that we spend things purposefully.
Okay. Dan anda ni semestinya bila memegang jawatan yang tinggi ni, obviously it comes dengan banyak tanggungjawab dan sebagainya kan. Jadi kadang-kadang saya rasa mungkin maybe affect you punya masa dengan keluarga lah. Kadang-kadang kekurangan masa sikit. Macam mana sokongan keluarga ni mungkin memainkan peranan besar?
Saya punya keluarga sokongan bagus sekali. But I think you need to reframe the question. I think the most important thing is not about whether you spend a lot of time at home or at work. I think yang paling penting, kalau kita spend time with anybody, whether it's at home or at work, how much of your time, how much of yourself do you actually give to the time? And I think that's what I always believe. Kalau di rumah, mesti 100% di rumah. And I always put family first, most important thing. You can look after your family, you can look after all your soldiers. I promise you that. Right? So I think I always tell my trainers that, look after yourself, look after your family. If everything is covered, you'll be able to look after your soldiers, and you can look after soldiers well. And I think that's important. But for me, most important thing is, when you are there with the person like now, you give it your 100% all the time.
So
and I
dalam
think that's
tapis
important.
ni 100% lah.
100% lah. Yeah.
Itu dia, itu yang kita mau. Jadi your family tak ada macam complain ke apa ke?
Tak lah, my family is very supportive all the time, and I think like I said, they are very supportive, not just what I do, but also supportive of understanding that sometimes I need to be away, but more importantly, they know that when I'm with them, I'm always 100%, and I think they can appreciate that all the time.
You ada anak-anak ke?
Saya ada 4 anak kucing hitam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ramainya, meriah.
Meriah di rumah.
Umur dia berapa?
I think 8, 7, 6.
Wow. Quite berusia juga dia punya
Berusia.
kucing.
So jadi saya adopt them separately lah, one by one. All rescue kittens.
Alah, so cute. Okay. So dekat rumah tu siapa bos? You ke?
Kucing saya bos lah. Saya main kerja, kalau dia lapar saya kasih makan, kalau dia nak brush, saya kena brush. That's the most important thing.
So kucing ni berapa star?
Kucing saya at least 4 star. Jadi saya ada 16 star kat rumah. 4 times 4.
Terkalah. Brigedier-Jeneral kat Singapore pun tak guna.
Tak guna.
Tak ada weight. Jadi bila anda melalui perjalanan di SAF ni kan, mungkin apa antara macam sokongan lah yang diberikan keluarga anda sepanjang perjalanan ni? Ada sesiapa yang mungkin menjadi tonggak sokongan yang paling penting lah, yang you rasa macam, wah, kalau don't have this person, saya mungkin tak boleh menjalani apa yang saya menjalani.
Not really, but my late wife was my biggest supporter lah. Yeah. So I think dia selalu, anything I need to do, she'll give me good advice and good counsel. I think that's the most important thing.
Your wife ada berkerjaya?
My wife passed away last year. Yeah, so that's why. But before that, I think even now, I always know she's always looking out for me.
Alah, okay. So apa-apa pun sokongan keluarga dalam kerjaya anda ni sangat-sangat penting lah. Actually dalam kerjaya apa-apa pun actually very penting lah kan.
Mesti penting lah.
Kita tak tahu dia punya risiko dalam pekerjaan itu apa. Especially being in the army, saya rasa kadang-kadang risikonya tinggi juga, especially kalau pergi mission.
The army is a very safe place.
Okay.
So, I think that's important. The important thing about the army is that we do dangerous things safely.
Okay. Jadi anda ni selama 20 lebih tahun, hampir 30 tahun berkhidmat dalam SAF ni, saya rasa tadi anda berkongsi antara perkara yang besar yang anda lakukan adalah di Bandar Aceh sebagai UN liaison ni kan. Mungkin boleh kongsi lebih mendalam sedikit lah. Peranan anda sebagai UN liaison ni macam mana? Apa yang actually you buat sepanjang mission?
So every day kita ada satu meeting sama semua foreign military, sama various UN agency dengan Indonesian Army. Jadi kita di dalam meeting tu kita bilang lah, ada ini, we have this situation, this what the help that you need, then who can help, who can support, whether is it the military or is it the UN, and after that we coordinate and put them together. Pasal if you are there, it's a very chaotic place because no information,
bencana
cukup, macam-macam bencana. Every day there's a lot of things that we are still finding out every single time. So the whole idea is to make some sense of a lot of the chaos and put things together so that we are able to put all the resources betul-betul lah. Kalau tidak, ada banyak resource, dengan orang yang perlu help tu tak dapat connect.
Okay. Adakah ini mungkin misi yang salah satu pertama yang anda lakukan secara scale yang besar ke?
Definitely. Subsequently in 2015 saya pun tolong HCDR mission di Nepal earthquake juga. Tapi dalam itu mission saya di belakang di Ops Center di Singapore. Then we have one team that is in Nepal supporting it. So the context a bit different. That one is I'm doing all the support, running of the operations to support our team that's aside Nepal doing that. So I think, two different things. But I mean, in each of the way, the important thing is our training. Our training, we must believe that our training is good, and indeed it's true. Kita boleh support, kita boleh bikin kerja yang supposed kita buat.
Pernah tak rasa macam like dalam pekerjaan ni like because relatively technically kita quite safe kan, so tak pernah nak harus mempraktikkan apa yang kita, mungkin anda belajar ataupun lakukan dalam training. Tapi when you're on the ground dia agak lain kan. So you feel like kadang-kadang macam tak prepared ke apa ke?
Tidak, no, never. I never felt not prepared. I think our training is very good and prepared. And I think sometimes kita think that it's two different things lah, but actually it's not. Actually, a lot of your training prepares you for a lot of operations that are not military. Like, I mean, you can take COVID as an example, right? I think the military deployed in a very large way because I think we provide a sense of order, process, and in anything that is complex, that is uncertain. So I mean, another one that is, I can give an example that is bukan military. In 2015, saya in charge semua operation untuk NDP SG50. So working with tens of thousands of people, not just military, the rest of the government, PA, hardware network, SPF, looking after all the security, the road movement. In fact, the whole bay, we have about more than 100,000 people around the whole area, right? To make sure that everything is safe. So I wasn't in charge of the creative, so all the show I didn't know, but all the operations.
Ingat kreatif, boleh main bola lain, tulisan doktor lain.
Tidak. So it's more of the operations, and I think you realize that our military is trained to manage such large-scale operations because they're very clear how to do things and how to make decisions, and then how to act and how to master enough resources untuk execute the operations.
Kadang-kadang orang fikir macam kalau kerja dalam army tu tunggu untuk sesuatu macam peperangan tu jadi. Tapi sebenarnya angkatan senjata ni buat lebih dari tu seperti anda kongsi
macam-macam.
Lebih macam-macam. Okey, dia termasuk operations dan sebagainya. Jadi anda ni sekarang sebagai pemimpin Chief Infantry Officer First Melayu dan juga 9 Div ni. Macam mana gaya pemimpin anda evolve lah dari dulu sampai sekarang?
I think the first thing that evolve is my age lah. I get a bit older lah. But
masih muda. Saya tak cakap apa-apa.
Tapi daripada saya kecil, or not when I was young or in the military, I always have two principle lah that I have when it comes to leadership.
Apa principle tersebut?
So number one, I think kita mesti always be genuine lah. You must be yourself, jujur pada kita. The truth is, all of us are unique, right? Different. We can try to be somebody else, but you're not somebody else. I think it's important that you always try to be yourself. And I think that's important because your soldiers, kita punya askar, can see you directly if you try to pura-pura be somebody else that you're not. I think they can see through. Important, and they can accept you for who you are. Sometimes we all cannot accept ourselves for who we are. Correct? They will accept you for who you are. So I think it's important that you're always very honest and you're always very genuine. I think be yourself. Second thing is, I think you got to be humble lah. And I think to be humble is about acknowledging that you're not perfect, that actually you need to work on a lot of things. And I think that is important. And I think that's important because in the military, it's not the individual sport, it's a sport. Pasukan, it's a team sport. Correct? You must be able to accept that you are not perfect and you need to have people around you in your team to help to cover your gaps ataupun untuk to help to shore up your strengths, kekuatan you. Jadi kita boleh imperfect as an individual lah, tapi as a team we can be perfect. It's important to start by acknowledging that we need to work on ourselves, we need to improve, and we need to help of our friends, and we need to work together to do the thing. So I think these two things I always tell myself, you must always be genuine, dan kita pun mesti be humble lah.
So kalau anda kata bukan semua orang perfect kan, so apa mungkin kekurangan anda lah?
Saya? I am very bad at detail sometimes. All the small little things. Jadi kalau saya remember, kalau bila saya CEO I was CEO of One Guards. So I'm the guy that likes to, saya lebih kreatif
kreatif juga.
Idea semua saya pun. Tapi saya punya operations officer, he's very systematic person. Jadi always need him with me because apa-apa saya fikir, dia help taruh itu order, itu system around it. So that's That's me lah. I'm not very good at small little. I mean, I can do it sometimes, but I'm not very good at it.
Okay. So jadi teamwork tu penting lah.
Teamwork mesti penting, especially di dalam antara tentera, angkatan tentera.
Okay. Jadi kalau macam tu, kalau bila nak buat macam keputusan besar dan mungkin anda rasa tertekan ni, macam mana anda mungkin tenangkan diri dan kekal fokus lah dalam tugasan anda?
The most important thing must be very clear what you want.
Okay.
The aim must be very clear. The
Planning.
aim itu mesti. Maklumat tu mesti yang paling important. Kalau kita tahu itu, yang lain kita boleh tahu, we know what to do. And I think it's important to always tanya lah. Kalau tak tahu, tanya kita punya kawan. Get all the inputs, be clear about all the inputs. By the end of the day, the commander's job is to make a decision, and you need to make a decision. And making a decision is not about just deciding, is to be accountable for the decision that you make. I think that's the most important thing.
Apa mungkin decision yang anda harus lakukan yang you rasa macam besar ni dia punya decision, tak tahu kalau right or wrong tak. Ada pernah wobble tak macam lah, alamak ni kalau salah?
I think tak lah. I think all decisions are big decisions, so I think especially di dalam in the military, I think you need to take every decision seriously and importantly, because you're not talking about just training. You're talking about people's mere lives, especially our NSFs, our NS men. Every single decision you make affects people's lives. So there are no small decisions. Every decision is important, and you need to think carefully, clearly before you make them.
Okay. Dia tak pernah takut nak buat decision apa-apa pun pasal ada team.
Because it's our job to make the decision.
Betul. Okay, jadi kita sekarang dah tahu tentang sejarah Encik Fairoz ni di dalam SAF. Tapi sekarang kita nak tanya, siapakah Encik Fairoz bila beliau tak pakai uniform? Civilian Fairoz ni siapa? Siapa? So bila kat rumah ni anda masih dalam command mode ke, atau family ada nickname khas untuk anda untuk macam switch off mode tu ke, macam mana? Ada tak macam terbawa-bawa mungkin antics anda di office pulang ke rumah?
Actually, kalau saya bilang kat rumah sama kat kerja sama jugalah. My first thing is you must be yourself. Doesn't matter where you are, The only different kalau kat rumah tu, kat sini saya punya bos cuma satu aja, Chief of Army. Kat rumah saya ada 4 bos yang kucing-kucing saya. Itu aja yang macam lain.
Okay. Itu je lah. Jadi dia punya roles reverse je lah.
Roles,
Okay. So tak ada langsung macam tiba-tiba sedia ke apa?
Tidak. Sama juga. I'm the same person whether at home or down here.
So is you sedia in front of the kucing-kucing lah?
Tak lah.
Okay. And then macam sepanjang kerjaya anda ni, ada tak macam soalan ataupun komen dari keluarga yang buat anda tersentuh lah tentang kerjaya anda?
I think my parents, they always bangga no matter what I do. Small little things or big things, they always bangga. And I think every time they tell me, you've done well, I think it really makes a big difference lah.
Bagaimana mungkin mereka tunjukkan that perasaan lah kepada?
It can be very just simply telling you, we're very proud of you. I think it's
really?
important.
I thought dia macam message ke apa ke? Ada
My parents quite old lah. Message. Adalah juga message.
Okay. Jadi dalam semua tugas dan tanggungjawab ni kan, pernah tak rasa macam bersalah terlepas masa dengan keluarga? Macam mana anda imbangi kerja dan juga kehidupan peribadi ni?
I think when people talk about work-life balance kan, I think is
ada tak work-life balance in the army?
Of course, I think it's work-life integration. Kita punya
integration
kerja sama,
balance,
kita sama keluarga mesti sama. So your family is part of your work also. Your work is part of your family. And I think you have to keep it together so that everybody understand it's one whole equal. You can't do one without the other. And it's not a balance. You're not trying to do more of one or more of the other, and that's not important.
Bagus, saya suka. First time saya dengar work integration.
Work-life integration.
Work-life integration. Okay, mungkin saya pun boleh praktikkan tersebut lah. Dan bila anda ni kan duduk sorang-sorang ni, apa sebenarnya yang buat Brigedier-Jeneral Fairoz rasa puas hati dengan kerjaya anda?
Puas hati.
Puas hati. Ada tak
as long as my people are happy, I'm happy. I think it's okay.
Ada tak sebarang perkara yang membuat anda rasa macam merangsangkan anda untuk terus bekerja dalam kerjaya ni?
Saya rasa kerja dalam tentera kita tak we don't think so high, you know. I think as long as kita put in a good day's work, knowing that the people yang kita bawa keluar training semua balik safely, knowing that Singapore is still safe, I think that's important lah. So every single day that, you know, we do training hard, well, safe, come back safely, I think that's good enough for me. Yeah.
Okay. Ada tak macam mungkin sebarang kisah lah daripada mungkin orang yang anda bekerja bersama macam okay, seeing them do well tu dapat rasa macam okay, bagus.
Betul. I mean, untuk saya kalau saya punya the soldiers that you work with, I think bila dia do well atau berjaya dalam hidup, I think it makes me feel very good lah. Oh yeah, and I think I give this just recently. I think kita ada ni upacara like a thank you dinner for all the NS men who have served beyond the statutory, beyond the required age. Jadi diorang extend lebih daripada 10 tahun tu. Di acara tu saya jumpa one of my ex-cadet. Cadet saya di tahun 2003 ke 2004 itu. 20 lebih tahun dulu.
Lama.
Then he come and find me, come and thank me, say, hey, thanks for inspiring us to or inspiring me at least to continue to work and to do it. And he's doing very well now. Dia director dalam industri hospitality. So he's doing well personally, and I think he's also doing well in NS, and I think he was just finishing his extra years. Tapi yang paling interesting ini group of cadets kan, dia orang commission lebih 20 tahun dulu. Sampai sekarang every single day, every single week, hari Sabtu 5:30 pagi, dia orang jumpa di Meritocracy untuk lari. Dan ada-ada saya join them juga.
Selama 20 tahun?
I don't know when they start lah, but they've been doing it until now, until today to join. And I think it's really amazing, and I think that's what buat saya bangga lah. I think it's the values that you see the people have, the connection that they still keep all the way until today, and seeing them do well in life. I think kita bangga sekali lah. Not that I made them that way, but I was just able to be a part of their journey. I think that makes me really.
Jadi bangga lah dapat jadi sebahagian daripada
perjalanan dia lah.
Wow, okay. Jadi sekarang ni anda sudah dapat 1 star Satu star di bahu, di bahu, di hati tu kan, di hati. Ada tak lagi macam impian yang anda mungkin masih ada atau ingin capaikan? Ada tak, ataupun macam side quest yang you rasa macam, oh, this is what I want to achieve in the army as chief infantry officer dan sebagainya?
Di dalam, in the next few years,
yes.
In the military, the only impian I have is that every single one of my soldiers finish national service or their duty safely. I think that's the most important, and they are operationally ready. I think the part about readiness is very, very important. At the end of the day, kita kerja tentera ni bukan untuk, it's not for fun lah, correct? It's for a reason. It's make sure that we are always at our best and always ready. But to do that, we must also do it safely. I think that's all I care about lah, actually, for the next few years. Yeah.
Okay, jadi safety lah number one.
Operationally readiness in a safe way. Yeah.
Okay. Mungkin untuk wrap up kita hari ni bila anda tengok ke depan ni kan, apa mungkin legacy yang anda harap tinggalkan sebagai Brigedier-Jeneral Fairoz kepada SAF dan generasi selepas ini?
To be honest, saya tak pernah fikir pun apa legacy saya nak tinggal.
Very simple man lah.
Tapi saya think the most important thing is, kalau saya dapat, I'm here today because there's a lot of people who help me to be here today. I think the question is, how can I make sure generasi yang di depan just as successful, just as good, and are able to do the job that they're supposed to do. I think the most important thing, whether as a regular or for our NSF, and especially for our NS community kan, bagaimana kita make sure that every single generation is better than the previous one. I think that's all that matters. So tak ada legacy lah. Yeah, I'm here because a lot of people helped me to be here. The question is, how can I make sure that the next batch is better than.
Diteruskan lah. Okey. Mungkin ada tak sebarang macam nasihat lah untuk pegawai muda yang mungkin baru bermula ataupun nak memasuki perjalanan di SAF? Apa yang paling penting yang mereka harus ingat?
Paling penting, I think in apa-apa kerja yang kau buat, always do the best that you can lah. Because you cannot predict a lot of things in the future, but you can always make sure, kita boleh make sure that apa yang kita buat sekarang is the best that kita buat. Kalau kita bikin itu, kita don't need to worry lah. Everything will pan out the way that it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Okay, ditakdirkan orang kata. Itu dia lah podcast bersama Encik Fairoz. Hari ni kita banyak pelajari tentang bagaimana perjalanannya sebelum masuk SAF dan kemudian selepas masuk SAF, apa yang beliau akan lakukan, dan sekarang sebagai Brigedier-Jeneral ni, apa yang beliau ingin capakan, antaranya termasuk operational readiness dan juga safety untuk mereka yang melakukan sebarang training ataupun sekiranya mereka dikerahkan ke misi-misi yang berlainan lah. Saya ingin ucapkan terima kasih banyak-banyak kerana bersama kami dan sudi menjemput notapis ke selarang camp jarang-jarang kita keluar studio. Hari ni kita dapat field trip lah sikit saya ingin ucapkan selamat maju jaya dalam jawatan yang baru ini.
Terima kasih.
We will be looking forward kepada anda dan kita jumpa lagi dalam podcast seterusnya.
Okey, jumpa lagi.